And we want to thank you for connecting with us on Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Today, we're about to have a lot of fun and we have a lot of knowledge and information to share with you. I'm your moderator, Alric McKenzie. We'll be exploring the vulnerability of the lower Rio Cobre alluvium aquifer. Now, this aquifer is an important source of water for drinking and irrigation, as the majority of the Portmore municipality is built on top of this aquifer. Hence, it is important for us to carry out studies to test the water quality. All right, so today our panelists, we have Mr. Jeffrey Marshall, who is Chief Hydrologist here at the Water Resources Authority. We also have Mr. Desmond Wellington, who's the Assistant Hydrologist, and we will be hearing from our Managing Director, Mr. Peter Clark. But just before we hear from Jeffrey and, of course, Desmond, we'll hear from Peter Clark, who will give us an opening, and then later we'll hear more from the other panelists. After after Peter talks with us, he'll join us later for the question and answer segment that you get the chance to get all the answers to your question. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, my name is Peter Clark, and as Managing Director of the Water Resources Authority, I must say that I'm proud of the work that is done by the team that I have here at the Water Resources Authority. I'm very proud of what has been done with the investigative work for what is known as the Aquifer Protection Zone. It is a critical zone, critical area that we have to pay particular attention to. With regard to this Aquifer Protection Zone, or you hear APZ, it had been designated a no-bill zone by Cabinet in 2004. This would have been so determined since at the time, under the available technology that we had, that would have been a prudent decision to make. Subsequently, we have been exposed to and we have been trained in measures that have brought about improvement in our monitoring capabilities. So building upon this, Cabinet has now approved a redefinition of the APZ from a no-build zone to a pure-build zone. And the team here will expand upon the work that they've done in terms of the investigative work, and they'll present their findings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. And I'd like to say good afternoon and thank you all out there in cyberspace for joining today. This presentation is based on a study which the Planning and Investigations Unit of the WA had implemented, where we wanted to make an assessment of the then current water quality in the APZ. We know that the zone has been delineated and defined, and we wanted to have some up-to-date information and data on what the water quality was like and water levels, so we can have something to base and make sure that whatever decisions are made are based on sound information, sound data, and based on science. So I'm very proud and happy of the work that was done by Mr. Desmond Wellington and Ms. Alison Pierce as well, who contributed very much in her tenure. She's no longer at the WA, but she did contribute very much to this study in its initial stages. And Desmond is going to present today on the results of this report, and I'm looking forward to good things, and I hope that you also will benefit from hearing this data, this information, and that the protection of our water resources will continue to become paramount in the public consciousness. So, Mr. Wellington, the floor is yours.
Thank you again, Mr. Marshall. To just reiterate, again, my name is Desmond Wellington. I'm an assistant hydrologist here at the Water Resources Authority. And in 2017, the Water Resources Authority embarked on a research study to assess the vulnerability of the lower Rio Cobre aquifer. Is to just jump right into it. All right. So today we have the lower Rio Cobre alluvium aquifer protection zone, assessing the vulnerability of the lower Rio Cobre alluvium aquifer. The aim of today's webinar is to present the aquifer protection zone, discuss its origin, the aim of the APZ report, ecology and limitations phase, water quality status, groundwater elevation status, the summary of results, third study aquifer, and recommendations. What is the Aquifer Protection Zone? The Aquifer Protection Zone is a delimited area where the negative effects of urban sprawl are limited or mitigated in an attempt to reduce the risk of contaminating the underlying groundwater resource. And this resource is very important because, as our host mentioned earlier, that this resource is one of the sources of potable water for the Portmore metropolitan area. How did the APZ come about? In July 2004, the RRA expressed concerns of urban sprawl in Portmore, and these concerns would have gone over a myriad of things. The depletion or recharge in the aquifer, as well as an introduction of contaminants in the aquifer itself. August 2004, the cabinet decision was made to delineate the protection zone, the aquifer protection, and it was given a no-build designation. Between 2004 to 2017, increase in urbanization has shifted the demand from agriculture to a more domestic use. So we'll find that most of the water is being converted from the original agricultural use, which was the primary land use back then, and now getting a more domestic demand. August 2017, the RRA embarked on a study to discern the state of the water recovery and to produce the APZ report. 2019, the APZ was shifted from a no-build position to a care-build position. This new designation would have introduced housing development with a more strict and stringent conditions. August 2020, the RRA completed its assessment of the lower Rio Cobre alluvium aquifer, and we're now here today to present it to you. What does the APZ aim to accomplish? The APZ had a two-pronged approach, first qualitative and quantitative. The qualitative approach examined the current state of the groundwater quality, and discern the causes of contamination if there are any. These include your sewage treatment facilities, any industrial activities, farming activities, the works. There was also a quantitative analysis that was done where the current state of the groundwater level in the aquifer was discerned, and to see if there's any risk of overpumping. Now, overpumping would result in a depletion of the freshwater reserve and increasing the saline water intake in the aquifer itself. And moving forward, we recommended best practices to help preserve the current state of the aquifer, as well as implement measures to improve on groundwater quality and quantity. Here we have the Aquifer Protection Zone itself. It's just a 30 square kilometer expanse of land between Portmore and Spanish Town. And to the east, we have the municipality of Portmore, and to the northwest, we have the Spanish Town city center. The Aquifer Protection Zone is northerly around Grange and Martin side, then traverses along I-95, now known as the Municipal Boulevard, then heads south towards Dumbiholden and Greater Portmore, encapsulating Cardigan Estate, Falls of Portmore, the 100-man police station, and Bonjour gas station. Then we head west along Dumbiholden, and then north along Dumbiholden Road towards Spanish Town, where the northern boundary of the APZ then runs parallel to the Rio Cobre River behind Central Village, where it then meets up with the eastern boundary around Grange Bend Morris Meadows side. Here we have a more bird's eye view of Aquifer Protection Zone, and if you're a resident of Portmore, you can probably identify your community on this map. We have Gregory Park to the north, Greater Portmore to the south, Central Village to the northwest, Cumberland and Newland. Here we have a hydrostratigraphy map of the Aquifer Protection Zone. And as you can see, the area in gray delineated as alluvium aquifer is what we're trying to our best protect and to mitigate any contamination, any modes of contamination within the Aquifer Protection Zone.